Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Mr. Muskie Charters, offering full-service guided fishing trips for walleye, muskie, bass, and sturgeon on Lake St. Clair and the Detroit and St. Clair rivers. Booking information is online at mrmuskiecharters.com. By Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers.
We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
Hi everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Silik, and we've got an exciting show in store for you this week, and it's all about fishing. I'll take you to a walleye tournament that just happened this past weekend on Lake St. Clair. It's grown leaps and bounds since it first started just a few short years ago. You won't want to miss that story, and Jimmy's got another fishing adventure in store for us this week too.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We are going to have a little bit more fishing on this week's show. I'm going to take us to Muskegon Lake, do a little bass fishing, and learn more about the college bass fishing tour that's going on here in the great state of Michigan. You won't want to miss that story. And I believe we're going to have time for a bragging board as well. So lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Alta Equipment Company, providing sales, rentals, service, and parts because uptime matters. From earth moving to landscaping and light construction, Alta offers over 50 brands across 7 Michigan locations to serve you. More information online or 844-GO-2-ALTA. By Polar Craft Boats, offering riveted and welded boats for the outdoor enthusiast. Whether you're targeting fish or waterfowl, Polar Craft Boats have several models to choose from that keep you high and dry. For more information, polarcraft.com. By AnglerQuest Pontoons. AnglerQuest is a Michigan-based company building boats designed for comfort and fishing functionality. For more information, anglerquestpontoons.com.
That's what I was going to say. I had a couple of guys.
Not yet.
Just last week, I was able to get out on Muskegon Lake to do some bass fishing. The two guys I was with have fished the college bass fishing circuits quite a bit, so I was excited to learn more about that and hopefully boat some nice fish in the process.
All right, game plan to start the morning. We're going to cover this little flat right here. It's a little drop off. Goes from about maybe 3 feet down to about 5 feet. There's some fresh grass growing up down there. We're just going to throw some moving baits. I'm starting with a Strike King red eye shad, and John's throwing a chatterbait back there behind me. But with the overcast skies and the wind blowing, man, just about perfect. They should be chasing and feeding on bait fish up in here as they get ready to spawn. So hopefully it'll be pretty good.
What you got there? The water temperature is good?
Water temperature, yeah, right now it's about perfect. We saw 59 over on the south side of the lake. It's up to about 61, 62 on this side. And back in some of the cuts, it's probably even a little bit better than that. So we may get a chance to do a little sight fishing later in the day, but we're just going to kind of take what the weather gives us and hopefully catch some fish.
Come here, sweetheart. Come here, buddy.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, sir!
Oh
the mouth on that
my goodness.
That is a tub. That is a
That
tub.
may be the biggest Muskegon Lake fish we've ever
Dude,
caught.
I know it. Man, I hooked her and I gave her a second and look how I hooked her still.
Yeah.
She bit and I gave her
Swiped at it.
I gave her 1 second and then I just loaded up on it. I didn't set the hook or nothing.
She wasn't coming off though. So.
Look at the size of the mouth on that thing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful fish.
Wow.
That's what's in this lake, man. That's an old fish. You can tell. That's just look at the tail. Nice little
Jeez, what do you think that thing weighs?
4 or 5. He's got a Rapala scale. We'll tell you right now. That's what we're doing.
If that's not 5,
I know.
I'll eat my hat.
498.
We're calling it 502.
Okay, 502.
That's what 5. It's 5 even. 5 even.
Well, nice way to start the day, young fella.
Thank you. Absolute blast, man. Pre-spawner. You can tell she's full. Sitting on this flat right here. She's gonna come up and spawn right here. A male's gonna make a bed somewhere up here, and she's just sitting here staging.
What a great fish for the first one of the day. You just kind of hope that wasn't it for the day, but when fishing with guys like this that do it a lot, well, I figured we'd find a few more, and we did.
See how they're eating it? Just chuck and wind and let the rod load up, do its thing. That's a 3/8 ounce Strike King Thunder Cricket, Bizbait Killer Craw trailer. Just looks like a bluegill or a craw. Ripping it out of the grass. Another largie.
Very nice. I asked John to tell us a little bit more about fishing Muskegon Lake.
So Muskegon Lake, it's a really diverse fishery. It's my personal favorite in the entire state of Michigan because you could just do so many different things. If you want to fish for smallmouth, you have it. If you want largemouth, you got it. Walleye, bass, bluegill, crappie, it's here. My favorite thing about the lake is that you can choose any technique that you want and you can fish it at this lake. So today what we did was we were fishing these grass flats in about 3 to 5 feet of water, and these pre-spawn largemouth were staging up on these grass flats, and we used chatterbaits and lipless crankbaits to burn through the grass and either cause a reaction bite or they were eating it as well. And it was really fun in terms of catching numbers of fish and both quality. I think our biggest of the day was a little over 5 pounds. I believe it was the first fish of the morning, and it was a blast. You catch 100 in a day and I won't get tired of it.
Nice.
This little buck bass, they just eat that thing.
Now, how do you work that along the bottom?
So this, I'm gonna let this guy go.
Yep.
This, I want this to hit the bottom because that blade. So when I bring it out there, we're only in 3 to 4 feet right now. So I'm throwing a 3/8 ounce head. But once it hits the bottom of that, I start reeling very continuously, and I just want it to collide with the grass. Once that blade collides with the grass, I start ripping it out. As soon as you rip it out, oh, as I say that, Josh just ripped it out and he's got a largemouth on it.
As soon as you're done there, Jimmy.
Before we talked college bass fishing, I had Josh tell me a little bit about high school bass fishing clubs and how they are becoming more and more popular.
So high school fishing has grown immensely over the last few years. If your school doesn't currently have a high school club, I know there are many parents or supervisors willing to help kids start a club nowadays, especially around this West Michigan area. All it takes is just a couple of kids who like to fish. You need a boat captain. Obviously, if you're under 18 years of age, you have to have a captain that drives the boat. And then West Michigan Bass and the Michigan Bass Nation do a great job with their high school trails. So it's really easy to get into. It just takes a little bit of time to get your club registered, and away you go. You can go ahead and go fish all the great trails here in Michigan. Like high school fishing, college fishing has grown a ton over the last 10 years. I actually didn't start bass fishing at all in high school. I didn't find the sport until I got to college. I joined the team at Western Michigan University and traveled all over the country fishing for Western Michigan. Western Michigan University has a very big club. Central Michigan has a great club. Schools like Grand Valley University, Ferris State University, I know Lansing Community College had a couple of teams, Michigan Tech, Michigan State and Michigan, obviously. So if you have a couple of guys who like to fish, you could start a team at just about any community college. It's really easy to start a club, really easy to get registered for the tournament, so there's really no excuse not to go and enjoy the outdoors and fish some of the great circuits like the College Bass Tour.
When I think about bass fishing clubs in high school or college, I guess I really didn't think much about how many great spots you get to go fish when doing those kind of circuits.
So college fishing, to me, it changed my life. I went into college fishing my freshman year, and I started my own team at a community college on the south side of Chicago in Palos Hills, Illinois. It was at Moraine Valley Community College, and I went and started my own team, and me and a couple other members traveled to what was FLW and Bassmaster tournaments around the country. And I got to see what this country had in terms of bass fishing, and I traveled from as far south as Shreveport, Louisiana, to as far north as the New York-Canadian border. It was a true blessing to be a part of it, and then once I was done at Moraine Valley Community College, I transferred to Western Michigan University, and I joined the Western Michigan Bass team, and I met very good friends that I still have to this day, and I have a lot of cherished memories with Western Michigan. And I was fortunate enough to be able to compete in the College Bass Tour and MCBC, which was Michigan College Bass Circuit in the state of Michigan.
It's always fun to see the little things that good anglers do that can really make a difference when trying to put more fish in the boat or more weight in your live well in a tournament.
You can put the whole thing on there, but I don't. I trim it down just a little bit so it's not hanging back off the hook so far. And what's cool about this bait, it's segmented. And I'll just cut one segment off, just like that, just pinch it off. So now it's a little bit shorter body. And that's kind of like that blue craw, blue hue color. It looks like a bluegill in that. And then thread it nice and straight on the hook. Get it as straight as you possibly can. Take your time and back out if you need to and go. Run it right through here, to the top. And it's got that plastic wire keeper on there, on that bait. So it really, really makes the plastic secure on well once you push it up over. Push it up on. And then you go to pull it, that bait is not coming off. The only way you got to swap the trailer out is if the end of your craw gets bit off right there. And then with the skirt, that is ready to go, ready to fish.
After catching quite a few in the main lake, we ran up the channel here on Muskegon Lake that leads to Lake Michigan. The guys were looking for smallies now, and while they did that, Dave Slager told me more about who can fish in the College Bass Fishing Tour.
So eligibility for these events is largely based on college teams, but it doesn't have to be that. You don't have to be on a team to be able to fish the College Bass Tour. We're taking kids from trade schools, from community colleges, all the way up to universities to be able to fish. So if anybody has questions as to how to get into this or has questions on eligibility, make sure you shoot us a line on our Facebook page or on our website. We have a link there.
It was great to fish with Josh and John and learn more about the College Bass Fishing Tour from them and Dave, who runs that league. If you're college age, they have all sorts of events this summer you may want to check out. For the rest of us, you don't have to be in a tournament setting to explore new lakes and new techniques. We have so many great fisheries around our state, so take some time this spring and summer and go explore some new water. Get out and enjoy what we as Michiganders sometimes take for granted. There are docks all over our state just waiting for you here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
7 years ago, I checked out the May Madness Walleye Fishing Tournament on Lake St. Clair. It was the very first year, 7 years ago, and I stopped by just this past weekend to check it out while it's in its 7th year, and things have changed quite a bit.
All right, we're at Harley Ince Memorial Boating Access Site, better known to South River Road, to the locals.
Yeah?
Yep.
So what's happening this morning?
Well, we got a lot of stuff going on. It's our 7th year doing May Madness, our 6th event due to COVID last year. And it's our biggest turnout that we've had yet. We have 91 boats this year. As you can see behind me, everybody's been getting inspected, and they're launching right now, floating around the harbor till blast off time at 7 a.m. And fishing times today are from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. You're gonna weigh your best 6 fish. And of course, it's a big fish side pot as well. That's always fun. Competitiveness goes wild during that. So yeah, can't wait to see what everybody has.
It's no small feat to launch 90 boats in a short amount of time, but these guys made it look easy. Everyone was pretty excited to get going. I tracked down the guys I was fishing with. Today I'd be riding along with Billy Batty and the rest of his team.
My dad, Doug, and his buddy, Andy Wallace.
Okay, cool. You guys got a good idea where to go catch some fish?
Hopefully.
All right, cool.
Before teams and their boats can leave the launch, they need to be inspected by a member of the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association to make sure their live wells are empty. We'd be fishing today on Doug Batty's boat, and once the inspection was complete, we were off to wait for the official start of the 2021 May Madness Tournament. All 91 boats were schooling around and waiting in the harbor for the 7 o'clock start time to arrive. Doug and his team were boat number 5 in the lineup, and we were ready to go.
Start lining them up, guys. 1 through 92. Let's line them up. Look for those boat boards. Get ready to roll. Be safe out there.
In order to keep track of all the fishing teams and to make sure everyone is accounted for, each boat is given a number in the lineup and must pass by the starting boat in numerical order. Getting all 91 boats lined up correctly seemed like it might take as much skill as finding a big fish today.
We've been fishing in the shipping channel this week. My thought was Metropolitan Beach is usually a real hot spot this time of year, and I think it's going to be blown out because of the hot weather, and every pleasure boat's going to be there, and then the North Channel. So I thought the shipping channel would be the safest place to have the most enjoyable time. And we've been catching fish there.
Doug was fishing today with his son Billy and his good friend Andy Wallace. Doug and Billy have a special relationship and have enjoyed fishing together since Billy was very young.
My son, when he was younger, he was presented with some cognitive and physical challenges at birth, and he always wanted to play youth sports, hockey and Little League, and it just wasn't going to work for him. And I've always hunted and fished with my father, so Billy has been my shadow and sidekick. He was fishing salmon tournaments with me when he was 5 years old, and we've just never stopped. He hunts, fishes, and he was one of those kids that didn't get treated well by his peers, and so he's real comfortable out here and in the woods, whether it's the deer woods or turkey woods, and we just have a great relationship. He's my shadow 24/7, and he's 28, and we have a ball together. We fish all the time, and if I could just get him to learn to clean fish better, it would be great.
It didn't take long to find the fish, but so far Doug and the team had found perch and one smaller walleye that just made the legal size to keep. The diversity of fish species on the lake is just one of the things that Doug loves about it.
Lake St. Clair's changed tremendously since I was a teenager. It used to be a murky, kind of greenish water, and you could catch walleye all day because the sun was filtered out. And then we had the zebra mussels come in. It changed the fishery, really changed walleye fishing, and it took a while for the ecosystem to balance back out. But now everything's great. Smallmouth, it's a world-renowned smallmouth fishery. The walleyes have just been fantastic the last several years. The perch, this year walleye fishing, I've caught the biggest perch walleye fishing than I have in years of trying to catch perch. And there's catfish, there's sturgeon, I've caught steelhead out here, coho, there's Atlantic salmon. You just never know what you may pull out. Good job, Billy.
Sweet, good eye on that one.
And he's on.
This next walleye was a bit bigger than the first, and things seemed to be headed in the right direction, but very slowly.
There we go. That's a nice one, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's a start.
All right, cool.
All right. It's been slower than the rest of the week, but we're going to keep chipping away. We're trying the deep water in the channel now. We're fishing the edge, but we're going to go deep and see what we can come up with. We're getting some marks, so hopefully they're getting hungry. Had a little front come through with some rain, and that might change things for the better, I hope.
The action seemed to be picking up out here in the deeper water. The guys got set up, and before long, Andy had a fish on. As Billy scrambled to bring in the close line to get it out of the way, I got the GoPro ready to try for a little underwater footage. We spent a little too much time with this fish and gave him an opportunity to shake loose at the boat. Not good when you're fishing a tournament. But at least we were entertained fishing near the shipping channel and got to watch some great freighters go by.
1,000-footer. 1,000-foot freighter.
Billy Batty loves being out here on the water, whether he's watching freighters or catching fish, but fishing has been his lifelong passion for sure.
Just fishing the tournament in general, I like it, and being part of the Lake St. Clair Walleye Club, just a fun tournament.
Awesome. So what do you like about fishing with your dad? Or fishing in general?
Just catching fish, learning all the different types of styles of fishing, from jigging to trolling. I've caught everything except a sturgeon. That's been on my bucket list to catch.
Even though they weren't finding the big walleyes out here on Lake St. Clair, the guys were having a great time, and Billy was doing what he loves.
Billy's been fishing since he was a newborn, and Andy and I have been fishing together maybe 20, 25 years.
Okay, cool. What do you like about it?
It's just my therapy. I come out here, I've been fortunate enough to live in this area. It's just a phenomenal fishery. You never know what you're going to pull out. And from the time I was a little kid, me and my buddies would get on our bikes and tie our rods to our crossbars and ride our bikes 10 miles to the Metro Park and fish off the shore, and it just went up from there.
Now that's a fish, huh?
Yeah, little better.
Nice.
Yeah.
As morning turned to afternoon, the guys had 4 walleye in the box, and now the clock was working against them to find more fish before we had to head back. We thought maybe a couple of sandwiches and snacks would stir up the action.
Oh yeah, we wanted to thank Rosalie Palazzola. Give her a special shout out for these olives she makes for me. I trade her walleye. She gives me the olives. They're good.
Unfortunately, we didn't find any more fish. At 2:30, we pulled lines and headed back to shore for the weigh-in, where I caught up with Kim Jugowitz from Dick Hoovar's dealership in Richmond, the co-sponsor of this May Madness tournament.
This is huge, yes. I think it's all the pent-upness from not being able to fish last year. So record turnout this year for May Madness. We had 91 boats registered. Wow. Yeah, awesome. I mean, it brings the community out. It gets the kids out fishing with the dads. We got women out here fishing. We got everybody all together. All the sponsors that get everybody together. It's just, I mean, it's a great day. What other day? What would you rather do on a beautiful Michigan day than spend it with family and friends fishing? So it's pretty amazing. We started out about 6-7 years ago. I think the first year started out with 14 boats. We paired up with the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association, nice little local club, doing what they do to promote the fishing and the preservation of it and everything. And now we're up to a $10,000 first prize for a tournament with 91 boats in it. Wow. Yeah, it's nice.
Well, our team didn't do so well at the weigh-in today, but lots of other folks brought in some great fish. Lots of prizes and money were awarded, and some of the most notable winners were father-daughter team Nick and Michaela Markowski, who came in 3rd overall. Mike, Chris, and Sean, who brought in the biggest fish at 6.66 pounds, and first place went to Team Hog Snatcher with a 6-fish total weight of 25.17 pounds. Congrats to all who made this walleye tournament a success and promoted our incredible fishery here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you stick around in upcoming weeks. We've got all sorts of summertime adventures headed your way. We'll take you out doing some Cisco fishing, cat fishing, and all sorts of different things you can be doing this time of year here in our great state. If you'd like to see where we are and what we're up to next, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, online. Always a great way to kind of keep tabs on us. You can do that through our website. We have full episodes of the show there every week. And if you're ever on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel there and get an email every time we post something new. Make sure you are joining us over the next several weeks. There's so much happening right now in the great state of Michigan. Get out and enjoy it. And hopefully, if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by.
Do you dream of somewhere bigger than your backyard? You can get there with Greenstone. Whether you want to hunt, fish, hike, or just watch the sunset, we're ready to help you own your place in the great outdoors. To learn more, visit greenstonefcs.com.
By Greenmark Equipment. Greenmark Equipment is a John Deere dealership network in southwest Michigan and northern Indiana. Greenmark provides sales and services to farmers, commercial businesses, large property owners, and homeowners. Information about pricing and products available can be found online at greenmarkequipment.com.
Closed captioning provided by Marvo Mineral, makers of Lucky Buck, deer management products including minerals to supplement deer diets year-round to improve health and antler growth.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land.